So this is our Spiderlite, and typically we want to modify it, spread it out before we start using it. And the way we do that is with a softbox. So we're going to use this front surface to widen the light. And the way we do that is we put it on over these lights. Anytime you're using continuous lights, you really want to be careful about putting modifiers on them, because you have to think about whether they're going to overheat. But in this case, these bulbs run pretty cool, and also this is designed to handle some heat, so it's okay. In other situations, you'll find that the continuous lights have fans blowing through them to dissipate the heat. But if you just have a continuous light that doesn't have a fan, that's old style, that has a filament in it, you know, like a 250 watt light bulb or something like that, you really have to be careful about what you get close to it, because things can catch on fire. Before I try putting this on, I want to make sure that this thing is tightened up and it doesn't go running away on me. So I'm going to put this down. And make sure that everything is tightened here. Note that I have a number of ways I can adjust this. Like if I loosen this one up, grab the handle, I can twist it. I can, if I go like this, I can change the way it's pointed by working with this one. But we'll just do it straight on for now. Okay, so I want to get this thing over the lights, and then I plug these in to holes that are on the side. Then I seal up these flaps so I have fewer light leaks out the back side. And then I run the extension of the cord over to an extension cord, which is coming off from the wall. And now I have lights. I'm going to turn this so I can move it. I've got 3 switches here that turn on different combinations of lights on the inside. So you can vary the strength of your light by which of these switches you're pushing. Now you notice probably that this light is a different color than the lights in the room, and will probably appear to you to be more blue. This is a common situation. Different continuous lights have different color balance, and that is going to be more noticeable when you're using them for photography than when you're actually looking at them in person. Our eye-mind combination is just much better at adapting to these differences than camera and film is, or camera and digital sensor are. So yeah, let's turn off. Okay, so now I'm just going to do a little setup here. We've got 4 different mannequins, I think. I'm going to choose our biggest one. So again, I'm assuming that you're going to see a difference in light between the softbox and the room light. So I'm going to turn off the room light to keep things simple. And off to the side, I don't think you can see it, we have windows which are almost completely blacked out. I'm going to try to black them all out completely. And I noticed that some of the lights are still on, so I'm going to turn those off. So the color balance on my camera is set to tungsten. So it's going to show this light is pretty blue. I'm going to switch this light over to daylight now in the next video clip. Okay, so I set the color balance to cloudy now, and I think it looks really different. Now I'm going to try opening up the windows to see if I can get a little light on this side that somewhat matches the light coming from the softbox. And I'll have to look at that later to see if that worked, but just looking at the back of the camera, it does look closer. So I've gone back to the darkened room because I think that is a good place to begin. And now I would just recommend that you play around with the light and see what happens. And early on in the process, feel free to take pictures that you really don't think are going to turn out to be very good, just to know what happens in that kind of a lighting situation. Later on you can decide whether or not you like that, but just to have examples handy so you know. So this light stand is heavy duty, so I can move things up pretty high. But before I do that, I'm going to put a couple sandbags on the bottom. Okay, now I'm moving it up. And I'm going to move it down and turn it so it's pointing down a little, and then move it up. And now this light with the sandbags on it, it gets kind of heavy, but I am going to try to move it. And you know, if you were doing this, you could take stills all the way along. And then if I wanted to modify the light, one thing to experiment with, let me pull through, is just using a card to reflect light from the other direction. And this actually works remarkably well when you have a single person or a single thing that you're working with. Really nice lighting effects this way. The problem is often when you're doing groups of people, the reflector card just doesn't throw enough light to reach everybody. It reaches the first person, but not the second or third. And later on, we'll show you how to hang reflector cards off of a boom so that you can set them up without having to hold them yourself. And as I said before, we're going to try to leave one of these lights out, one of these soft boxes out, so that you don't have to do the whole setup, and you can just get to playing with it. Until other people need the studio, then we're probably going to have to be more considerate and put things away so they don't block other people.